How old should your child be to start the violin? I would start them between the ages of 4.5 and 6. This age is perfect for students because they're young enough where their brains are still developing and they're gonna have this content be absorbed by their sponge-like brains. This will help the content to be able to stick with them for years to come. They're also old enough to be able to sit through a half-an-hour lesson. Will your child need their own instrument? And the answer is yes. Your child will need their own instrument because they'll want to come to the lesson with the instrument and take it home with them to be able to do the most important work, which is practice. I only have students practice on the days that they eat. Practice needs to be just like brushing your teeth. It's something that you do every day, no matter what, and it becomes a wonderful habit throughout their lives, and it will actually inform other areas of their life, whether it be school and eventually work and profession. The student should practice from 10 minutes to 30 minutes a day until they're about 8 years old. You might be wondering, how will I get an instrument? That's a pretty easy answer. There are many places around Orange County that are wonderful music stores that will provide you with an instrument for your child. Should you buy a violin for your child online? I wouldn't do it unless it's from a trusted source like Charm Music out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, or a few other places that are trusted. The issue with buying an instrument online, for example, let's say on eBay or even Amazon, is that you're not sure of the quality of the instruments. In music education, we talk about VSOs, which are violin-shaped objects. And these instruments are actually not made to code what a small instrument needs. The violin is a wooden box, essentially, but there are qualifications and protocols that need to be met in order for that instrument to actually be a violin and for it to sound like something that isn't a violin-shaped object. So, an answer, you shouldn't buy an instrument online unless it's from a very trusted source. You might be wondering, should you rent or purchase an instrument for your beginning child? I would say rent, because if you purchase an instrument, they might start out at an 1/8 size, then move up to a 1/4, and then they'll be up to 2/4, and then they'll be 3/4, then they'll need a full-size instrument, and then eventually they'll need a better full-size instrument. And so you're going to be going through at least 6 or 7 instruments throughout the child's life, and that becomes pricey. And so the best way around this is to rent an instrument from your local music store. A lot of music stores will have great programs where they have you pay one flat fee, and you can bring in your child when they're 6, and when they're 7 and they need a new size, you bring the child back, get the child resized, and the music store will know exactly when your child needs to switch over to a larger size. So in summary of this, I would recommend renting an instrument and not buying one. How will you know what size violin your child needs? Fantastic question. There are 36 different sizes of the violin. We often think of the full size, the 4/4 size, as something that is standard. And while it's standard for larger humans, it is not standard for smaller humans. We even have a size that is a 1/64 violin size. I think that's very small. I've never seen a student with a 1/64, but I know that they exist. A very typical beginning size is generally a 1/16 or a 1/8 size instrument. And the way that you'll know that is taking your child to a music store, and they will size the child for you. There's a bunch of different ways that they make sure the instrument is comfortable for your beginning violin student.